Hey guys, this is Victoria. I am back with another catch-up video. As you know, I have been on a low buy, no buy year and we have just finished the 7th month in 2022. Today is the 31st of July and I would like to discuss the 8 categories in which I'm doing this year a no buy or low buy or have a strict budget. The reasons why I'm doing this you can watch in the introductory video that I'm going to link up here. And if you are not following me just yet and you find the topic interesting and you would like to see my other videos, press the subscribe button down there and the bell button so that you will be notified whenever I upload a new video. I am making videos about saving money, living frugally, minimalism, decluttering, organizing. And I also have some travel videos because the money that I am saving on not spending on stuff, I am spending on experiences and travel. So that is the main reason I'm doing this no buy as well, so that I can finance all my traveling plans this year after the COVID pandemic is being toned down this year. We are finally able to travel around the world and I am back at doing that. This year I have been already to a few places, so if you are interested in watching some of my travel vlogs, then I am going to link the vlog series down in the description below and also up here. And well, now let's just get into the meat of this video, which is going to be talking about the 8 categories. Disclaimer, I live in Austria, so the currency we're using here is euros. So when I'm doing my budgeting, when I'm calculating my spending, I'm always calculating in this currency. So let's get into the 8 categories that we are catching up on every month. The first category that I have is groceries, in which I have a monthly budget of 200 euros for groceries. I live alone, it's in a single household. However, I do have sometimes friends and family over that I also have to cater for, so obviously I'm not gonna ask them to pay for the groceries that I'm sharing with them. So the budget is not only for me, myself and I, but I also share it with a few people on some days of the month. And also what you need to consider is that this budget also includes alcohol, so anything that I buy in a grocery store. And I tend to make my own meals at home most of the time and eat out as little as possible, just also to save money on eating out or ordering in. And I also like to control what I'm eating. I like to eat healthy. Most of the time I make vegetarian meal, I eat a lot of fruits and vegetables, try to focus on staying healthy, spending less and eating what I like, and also improving my cooking skills. So in the month of July I have not been in my apartment for 2 weeks out of the 4.5, because I have been back home for a week and I have been traveling in Italy for another week. In the June catch-up video I said that probably for July I will also have just a 100 euro budget rather than the normal 200 that I have per month, because then that other 100 euros I can use for other things. I can put that 100 euros into the travel budget, for example. However, what happened is that when I went traveling in Italy, I actually went to a grocery store in Italy and purchased a few things for my pantry and for myself, Italian specialties or things that are like, you know, Italian, for example, limoncello or different types of pasta and wine and pesto and so on. Actually, there is going to be a whole video of that haul where I spent a little bit over 100 euros on just Italian things, basically. There's going to be a haul up on my channel in the coming weeks. There is a few travel vlogs still scheduled for the next few occasions, so it's gonna be there after the Italian travel vlog specifically, so probably towards the end of next week. So since I spent 100 euros already in Italy, some of that was actually gifts for other people, but I didn't calculate it as gifts. Maybe I should have, I'm not sure. Like sometimes there is a thin line between the categories. Sometimes, you know, like I invite someone for a meal, is that a gift or is it coming from the eating out and going out and dining out budget? or if I buy some groceries and some of it I will give away as a present. Normally that should go into the gift category, but now this time I just wanted to make it simple and I left it all together, because then I would have to separately calculate the amount I spent on myself and then on other people. So some of that was actually gifts for other people, but I'm still gonna calculate it under the grocery budget. And then of course in the other 2 weeks or 2.5 weeks when I was actually here in Vienna, I also spent some money on groceries for myself when I'm here, and I think I only ate out once during these 2 weeks on my birthday, actually, because July is when my birthday was. So yeah, there's that. So basically I spent a little bit over 200 euros this month from the 200 euro budget that I have per month, and overall for the year of 2022, out of the 1,300 euros which I have put into this budget category, because in June I only had 100 euros in this budget category allocated. So out of that I have spent so far 1,280 euros, which means we have 20 euros to spare. So I spent a little bit less than was allocated in this budget category so far. And I find that it's getting more and more difficult to stay within the budget. In the beginning of the year, it was much easier than now. But I also just looked at my pantry and I realized that I have quite a lot of things that I stacked up on. However, many of that require quite a bit of a preparation, a lot of cooking time, and at this moment in the middle of July when it's really hot, first of all I really feel like just eating fresh things, so different types of salads and all kinds of fresh vegetables and fruits. So I tend to buy more of that, which I always have to buy fresh. Also, I don't want to turn on the oven or the stove to prepare something. I also don't really have that much time to always make some elaborate meals, so that is coming back probably when the weather gets colder in September, October. And probably some of you who have been following my channel and watching my previous videos where I have been showing some cooking and what meals I prepare, those videos are hopefully coming back in a few months, once this heat is over and once I'm more motivated to make elaborate meals or be more creative about the things that I'm making, or just cook from my pantry, do some no spend weeks and stuff like that. That is one of the reasons why also my budget went up. I think one is of course inflation, the other is that I'm eating more fresh food these days. So in the beginning of the year I spent way less than my budget, like 150 euros only out of the 200, and now I'm spending a little bit over in the last few months, but that's okay because that is all balancing itself out. I mentioned that alcohol is also included in this budget, so I spent around 35 euros on alcohol this month, on wine and limoncello from Italy. So out of the 235 euros were alcohol, and when I don't spend on alcohol, of course, it's easier to spend more on alcohol than on other things because it tends to be more expensive than, let's say, produce, right? Let's go to the next category because I have been speaking way too long about the grocery budget. The next category is the gifts category, which I already kind of touched upon during the first part. This month I didn't purchase any gifts. Well, I did, but it's in the grocery category, right? However, I invited a friend of mine on his birthday for lunch, and I decided I'm going to include that lunch as a gift in this category rather than in the eating out, dining out category, which I'm usually not speaking about, but that category is something that I am also conscious about and have budgeted for every month, but I don't have a strict budget for that. However, last month in June I went quite over that budget since I was traveling and I had most of my meals out. I spent a lot of that budget and I decided that this month I'm going to try to stay away from that budget and keep it in control. So I spent a little bit below 25 euros as a gift on a lunch, and it's coming from a budget of 30 euros per month where I had rollover already. So overall in this year, out of the 210 euros that I have put into this budget category, which is the gift category, I have spent 190 euros so far. So I basically have a 20 euro cushion, and of course in August I'm gonna put another 30 euros in the gift category. The third group, or the third category that I'm going to mention, that I always mention, is clothing and accessory, where I have a strict no buy this year. And yeah, I can say that this one is going very well. I really don't see the need to go shopping for clothes or accessories especially. I really have everything that I need, I feel like. What I'm actually thinking, and this is coming up on my channel hopefully starting September, October, is to do another declutter of my whole apartment, including my wardrobe, to really get rid of the things that I am not liking that much anymore, or the things that I keep in the closet just in case, and things that, you know, may not be in a good shape, and just be really strict with the declutter, really get rid of everything that doesn't bring me joy anymore, or which really does not seem to be super necessary in my life at this stage, and see for a few months how do I get along with that limited amount of clothes, or not even limited. It's still not gonna be limited if I declutter my clothes at this point. I feel like it's still not gonna be like you know, this very minimalistic 30 pieces wardrobe, but I would like to just, you know, see how do I get along with less, because just the amount of things that I have, it's just weighs on me sometimes, and it gives me another layer of anxiety, which I do have anxiety many times, especially lately for some reason, and I don't seem to be able to control it that well lately as well. So, and I feel like decluttering and organizing is very therapeutic for me, so I would like to do like 1 year after my first declutter, of which there is a whole series on my channel if you're interested to see that. 1 year after that, do another round of the whole decluttering, and keep not buying anything new, so that, you know, I have more going out than coming in. And then next year we will see, you know, if there are some key pieces that I'm missing. I wish I could buy good quality new things which are maybe more expensive but will last me longer. It's difficult because even the more expensive things might not be a good quality, so you have to really do research to find good quality stuff. Anyway, let's move on from this category to the skincare and hygiene category, where I have been struggling already this year, because I kept overspending for 2-3 months in a row in the last few months. I'm happy to say that this month I didn't overspend. Out of the 30 euros budget, I spent less than 15 euros this month, which were 2 toothbrushes. One of them was for my mom, and the sunscreen, because I went on a holiday, and in the previous holiday from last month I actually finished all the sunscreen that I had, so I had to get a new one. Yeah, so that was 14 euros 25 cents overall, and the budget is 30. However, I already had overspent in this category with like 60 euros, I think, and currently I have 258 euros spent in this category throughout 2022, and I only put 210 euros into this virtual pocket, so I spent 48 euros over the budgeted amount. And we'll see if we can catch up on this a little bit. This month we definitely caught up on a little bit, but every month there seems to be something that I have to replace, that I'm just ran out and I should get a new one off. And even though I feel like I don't have such an extensive amount of hygiene products and skincare and makeup, but still just the little one that I have, I still run out of them or something at least almost every month. So we'll see how that goes. The fifth category that we are always talking about is books and entertainment. Well, since I have been traveling so long in the past months, I really didn't have time to go out to do some other entertainment stuff. So I also didn't finish any books lately. I don't know, I'm kind of in a little bit of a reading rut, but I feel like it's okay because I'm so busy and it's summer, and maybe in the winter or when it gets colder I will get back into it. But I think it's also up to the book choices that I made lately, that none of the books that I choose really catch my attention. But I'm also not one who would stop reading a book once I already started it, so I struggle through them rather than saying, no, I'm not gonna read this, I don't like the first chapter, I'm gonna put it down because maybe it gets better. And then sometimes they just don't. Yeah, anyway, I didn't spend anything in the books and entertainment category. I didn't get any new audiobooks. I am reading one physical book, I am listening to one audiobook. I actually stopped listening to one of the audiobooks that I chose because every single time I fell asleep on it when I started to listen, and I didn't know what is it about, what was going on, and I was like, okay, this book is so bad that I have to switch to another one. And this next one is slightly better, but it's still a historical fiction, which I normally like, but somehow it still doesn't catch my attention that much. Maybe it's just because of the summer, or I don't know. Or maybe I just need to read finally something lighthearted. Anyway, no spend in this category. So far in this month or in this year, I have spent 55 euros in the entertainment and the books category, and I put into the budget envelope 35 euros. So I have an overspend of 20 euros, but I had a rollover from 2021 in this budget category of 50 euros. So overall, I'm still definitely within budget in this category and no problem there. Next item, 6 category, is technology. Well, already last month I mentioned what's going on with technology. This month I didn't spend anything still on technology, but in August I most likely will purchase a phone, because my other phone, the main button is not working anymore, and I can still use a phone. It's just annoying when it comes to purchases, using my online bank and all of these like convenience things. But it seems that I'm going to get a second-hand phone from someone for a quite low price, because it's an older phone that I'm going to get, and then we'll see next year how does my business perform. If I do well, if my business does well, then I can maybe invest in a proper new phone that I can hopefully keep for like the next 3 or 4 years. This would be the most sustainable option to do for me, but if I buy this phone from a friend, then of course I cannot calculate this as a business expense. It's just gonna be another 200-300 euros from my own budget. We'll see. Then supplies, kitchen supplies, cleaning supplies, all that. Guess what? I did not spend anything in this category in July, so yes, we caught up a little bit on this budget category where we already had a few months of overspending in the past. Basically, our budget for this category is 20 euros per month. Overall, out of the 140 euros that I have put in this budget virtual envelope in 2022, I have spent 166 euros, which means I'm still over 2 months over the threshold. I'm rolling over the minus, and yeah, if I could do at least 2 more months without spending anything, which doesn't seem realistic, but we will see, maybe I can do it. If I could go 2 more months, then I would catch up on myself. So wish me luck. But yeah, this month I didn't spend anything. This is a first for sure. Yes, it's a win. Small wins are calculated as wins. We have to stay positive. And my final category is the furniture category, where I also didn't spend anything this month. And as you know, the goal here is to not spend, but still put 50 euros every month into this budget category, so that I pile up some money there and eventually be able to buy something bigger at the end. So furniture, no spend, and it's gonna stay like that hopefully until the end of this year. And yeah, so that was the summary of this month. I think this month in the no spend, low spend budget categories, I was doing very well in most of them or all of them. Maybe in the grocery one a little bit, yeah, not so well as I planned at the beginning of the month, but it's still doing okay. And then let's discuss what I did spend my money on this month. So I have purchased a bike this month. It was a little bit below 650 euros. This was definitely not an impulse purchase. I wanted to buy a bike for over 2 years now, and unfortunately this decision that I really want to buy a bike and I'm really going to buy a bike came when they are the most expensive, of course, because when I first thought about it, I said I'm gonna spend 500 euros and I'm gonna get a really good bike for that. And yeah, then I had to raise my budget because I did some research and I realized from 500 I'm not gonna get a bike that I want. So eventually I raised the money that I have already put away for it in the last months. Even like over a year now I have been putting away money for this bike because I really wanted to buy this bike for 2 years now. So eventually I had 650 euros put away and I bought it for a little bit less than that, so that's a win as well. And also because my birthday was this month, my family, my brother and my mom also added some money into purchasing the bike. So thank you very much for them, so that they contributed to getting me this new bike, which I still don't have it here because we got it in Hungary. The selection in Hungary was somehow just better and it was a tad bit cheaper as well, I would say, as it is here in Austria. But I still have to get the bike here, which might be a bit complicated because it's quite a big bike. Like it's a female size L, which is I think the biggest size when it comes to female bikes. And I needed to get that size because I'm tall. There is a limited amount of this size that you can actually get because normally female bikes are smaller and not every store actually has this size on hand. But we managed to find one. The color scheme is maybe not perfect. It's not something that I would have purchased if I had another option probably, but I didn't, so it's okay. I have a new bike finally and it's gonna be here hopefully in August, and then I can go on my bike tours or just like anywhere with the bike. Just yeah, I can't wait. I have a bike actually already that I have here and use, which is my father's almost 30-year-old bike, but that bike is very small. It's a mountain bike and it's very hard to cycle on it. Everyone who has any kind of bike basically takes over when I'm cycling in the city with it, and I get really tired on it really fast. It's uncomfortable and everything, and that's why I wanted a new one. Story finished. Again, I was speaking just way too long about this one topic. And of course, the other big thing that I had spent money on this month in July was just traveling on our trip to Italy, which was another 650 euros, if not 700 euros overall for a week in Tuscany. There's going to be a travel vlog coming up from that experience as well, so if you're interested to see what we have visited in Italy, then subscribe to the channel and watch that video upcoming probably in the next weeks. Yeah, so that was it, catch up for July 2022. Thank you for tagging along with me. I hope you got a bit of an insight on how is it going for me this year with the no spend, low spend in certain categories, so that I can allocate the money on other categories that I prefer to spend my money on rather than things. I spend them on experiences. Thank you very much for tagging along, for watching my video. Hit the like button if you like this video, and I'm hoping to see you at my next one. Bye bye!